So somebody from the chat actually tried to ask a question or at least type in chat, but they weren't able to because of some security stuff. I think that's one of Twitch's new options. So I decided to let him send a friend request to me in Discord so that way I can be able to answer the question or whatever question it may relate to. So this guy's question, and I'm not really gonna put it on stream because I feel like that would probably be a little unnecessary. But he asked me, Synergy, what do you think about technology in current day, in 2024? Is it really needed in our everyday lives? I come from a generation to where it was before the internet and when the internet started, and I've always had outside communication with people. We went on glorious adventures. I was led to believe in a life without technology and learning how to disconnect. I feel that technology has pushed us further away from advancing the inner cores of our mind and how we are able to operate on an everyday basis. How we lose control of ourselves whenever technology doesn't work. What is your thoughts on it? What is your take on the situation at hand? That's pretty rough, man. I mean, it's kind of one of those questions where it I think you asked multiple questions within, that, but I'll put it in a way where it can be answered, I guess, professionally and related to life experiences. So I too come from a generation before the internet and when the internet first started. I remember a time, and this dates back to 1999, when I was just 7 years old, and my father basically used to give me money to go to the store by myself to get milk or whatever accessories that were needed for home to cook, or at least, in the morning or in the afternoon or whatever the case may be. I know some people are going to think, oh, your father went to go get the milk. The roles has changed. You went to go get the milk and you didn't come back. Well, that part is probably true in some way, shape, or form. But um, most of the time, I actually took that money to go to the arcades. This was around the time when the nostalgic games like Ridge Racer R4, Street Fighter Third Strike, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2, um, even the first Capcom SNK, Spawn and Demon's Hands. All these arcade games, all these wonderful arcade games, but it wasn't so much of the arcade games. It was more of the feeling of being in an environment to where you weren't the only one that actually was interested in those video games. Social interaction, being able to see somebody's facial expression when they're excited to be in an environment with a bunch of people that love gaming. That inner core internal feeling of being able to talk amongst people and share your thoughts about life and being able to see what interest carries on with being in an environment like that. I think the key pointer of the subject matter at hand is being able to be at a place and time to where it was fate that brought you there. Fast forward to 2003 when technology was sort of advancing in a certain way, and we were at a point in time to where we still had beepers, we still had pager phones, we still had, the DSL, we still had all these beginning edges of technology that was trying to introduce us to a world of the internet. And to, be reminded at a particular point in time that we were not necessarily in need of a GPS because we didn't mind getting lost. Wherever that destination took us, we knew two things were to occur. Fate brought us there, or the creator in the cosmos led us in that area or that destination for a reason because we were meant to be there. You know, most of my best friends that I've met over the course of time were because of me being lost, finding my way, and being led to those destinations to start a new journey, a new friendship. You know, um, a lot of times, in those particular point in times, it was cool, because it gave you a reason to explore. It gave you a reason to being like, okay, I know that I might not know where I'm going, but I'm gonna go to this particular location, and if I don't get there, I'll try to see if I can find my way there. And not so much as the suspense of actually going to those particular locations, but more so towards the fact that you knew that if God was by your side and you knew that you could be able to read signs, which most people probably weren't able to read or whatever the case may be, not to really judge anybody on their literature or, their English, but I would say you were just guided amongst yourself. No need for technology, no need for a GPS at the time, no need for, a map questing, so forth. And you were on this particular journey. It was almost like you were Forrest Gump. And instead of you running, you were walking to this destination. But on your way to this destination, you got a beautiful scenery. You saw these beautiful landmarks. You were able to interact with people, get to see their faces, enjoy the fresh air, um, the beautiful weather. Most of the time, when you're able to disconnect like that, you have full capacity of your mind to be able to reach the inner partings of your cerebrum. And being able to do so, it allowed people to go out together. Not just social interaction, but being able to disconnect and go places like hiking. Most people will really go out on adventures, take a trip to a cross country, uh, travel to a different state to try out different foods. There's bands playing, going to those particular commutes. We didn't have a phone, but the biggest capture was our mind and our eyes. We could be able to capture that for a lifetime. We had cameras, and they were able to, you know, be used to capture pictures, but in a sense, we were able to feel amongst ourselves that the memory that lasts a lot longer is the photographic memory within our cerebrum. With that being said, nowadays, people feel like they need technology in order to survive in their everyday lives, right? Some, not all of them. We have grown lazy to an extent. We've felt like the conveniences no longer are conveniences, they're more like things that are needs instead of wants. When in reality, we are capable of an unlimited capacity of knowledge, an unlimited capacity of creativity, an unlimited capacity of a galaxy beyond. And what doesn't make any sense to me is how these people, in terms of their thought process and their thinking matter, believe that when we're the reason why technology exists. Scientists oppose um, these process matter not just because technology exists, but because we created technology. If it wasn't for us, if it wasn't for our minds, if it wasn't for the thought of the unknown, the thought of innovation, there would be no technology. So when you ask a question that involves this particular subject matter on, you know, how I feel about it in current day age, listen, I enjoy gaming. I've always gamed throughout all my life, but I know how to disconnect. And disconnection is not a scary thing. It's a beautiful thing. Time with family, time traveling. Even if it means you traveling an hour away from home to go to a destination you're not even familiar with. I know it's a scary world out there, and it seems like things are getting worse. But as long as you believe that the creator and the cosmos is keeping you safe, nothing should really stop you at the end of the day. You should always want more. You should always want to excel. But you should never need to feel as though technology is needed. Yeah, it's needed in certain areas of everyday activities, I suppose. But I remember a time when we didn't have technology and we did well in terms of working, in terms of traveling, in terms of getting certain things done throughout our daily lives. Being able to be like, okay, well, if this particular device doesn't do what we ask it to do, then we can do it with our hands. Our hands were the real message. Our hands were the real answer. Our mind was the real answer. I have nothing against social media figures that have used the internet to create a career. That's not what this is all about. I think what it's really all about is the fact that, aside from the vloggers, aside from the influencers, aside from the, well, social media influencers where they're uh, bodybuilders or so forth, it has nothing to do with that. I think it has more to do with the fact that we should be able to understand that technology needs us and we don't need technology. We shouldn't believe that it's okay to be lazy. At a point in time, we were able to look up to innovators such as Michael Jordan or Mike Tyson or Steve Jobs. All these particular people that have created and paved way in their own way, in their own visions. They made their dreams come to life. Even earlier throughout time, between manufacturer owners like Gordon Murray, or even as opposed to boxers, living legends like Muhammad Ali, and so forth. So when it comes down to those particular things, we don't need technology. Technology needs us, because without our minds and our hands, technology will never exist. I would like to know your opinion on the matter in the comment section, and if you actually enjoy this video, make sure you guys like. It's really difficult for me to actually take it from my stream in order to make this into a video, but I figured that this was a very important topic to have, considering that I've been having nothing but individuals coming to me and asking similar questions along the subject matter at hand. But I would like to know exactly what you guys think. Do you guys think that you really need technology on your day-to-day basis? Or are you one of those people that, thinks differently about the matter? That because technology advanced, it made our lives a lot easier in a sense. And that if we utilize it correctly, maybe we can work hand in hand with it. It all really depends. I would like to know what your thoughts are. Please submit your feedback in the comment section. But thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. And I appreciate, the support that you guys have been giving me for my series. And this is Saiynergy signing off, and you guys take it easy.